Hello, my name is Leslie Whitty, and joining me, as usual, we have James Moore. We are both employees of the South Central Workforce Development Board, and we are happy that you've decided to join us for another edition of Inside Jobs webcast. Hey, James, how are you?
I'm great, Leslie. Good
Good.
afternoon.
Good deal. Today's episode, again, we're all about looking inside jobs, giving you the inside track on jobs in the region. And today's episode, we're going to focus specifically on not just one town, Franklin, but the entire county. So Simpson County. And we've got a lot of opportunities there. You see the photo of the Franklin Square. I think Franklin has one of the prettiest squares in the state.
Oh, it absolutely does. That's one of the great things about what I get to do. You don't get to go out every day, but I know you get to get out in the community some. But being out in the communities in our region here, I get to see these beautiful squares, especially right now, as you can see in this picture for the Simpson County, how everything's starting to come into bloom and stuff. We have one of the prettiest communities in this region in all 10 of our counties that we have. We really do. We're blessed with some beauty here in Southern Kentucky, that's for sure.
Absolutely. So with Franklin, I thought I would start us off before we get into jobs, just for our viewers that may not be as familiar with Franklin and Simpson County. So I have some photos here. James, why don't you pick one and tell me what you know about it? They all have something to do with Franklin or Simpson County.
Well, let's talk about Johnny and June. That's my favorite anyway. Johnny and June Cash. This is where they went to get married many years ago. I do know that is in Franklin, Kentucky, and they have a festival every year to honor their let's say their wedding anniversary, because that is when they got married. That's one of their biggest events that they have there in Simpson County, and large crowds turn out for it. Of course, both of them were world recording artists in the country music industry, so everybody knows who Johnny and June Carter Cash were.
Absolutely. And I read that the reason they came to Franklin is because they couldn't get a wedding license the same day in Tennessee, so they had to come to Kentucky. And Franklin is very close to Tennessee. Yeah. All right, I will pick the next one. And Franklin, I don't know how many are still in existence, not enough. But Franklin is one of the unique places really in the whole United States that still has an operational drive-in. And I don't know about you, but we had a drive-in in Horse Cave. And not saying that I ever did this, but people were known to sneak in the trunk of a car to get into the drive-in at a discount rate. That's what I heard, at least. That Franklin still has an operational drive-in, and so that is a lot of fun to go to.
Yes, they absolutely are. I can remember you were talking about Horse Cave. Jigger Aspley had the Star drive-in here in Berrien County. I remember going there as a small child. I might have been 8 or 9 years old, but I can remember laying down in the floorboard of the back seat.
Yes.
And I remember Mom and Daddy taking snacks and stuff in there. You weren't supposed to take snacks either. Mom and Daddy taking snacks in there for us kids to have. Yeah, I'm sure there were a lot of people, especially when my parents were younger in the early 70s. Those big old cars they had, and that's what they had was drive-ins. We didn't have the standard cinemas like we have now, so they'd all pile up and sneak into those things. You're absolutely right. I've heard stories of that as well.
Yeah, my parents, we were a house of Pintos, the safest car on the road, and I would lay down in the like hatchback part of the Pinto, and they would raise that up. So I would, that was pretty. I thought that was pretty sweet. So
oh yeah.
All right, which one? You got 2 choices left.
Well, we can talk a little bit about the Octagon Hall. As you can see in the picture there, it's a unique home. There's not a whole lot of homes that are designed this way. A handful is it. They really are an octagon. This was a it's a landmark. It's from the Civil War period. I do know that. I'm not exactly sure what year or anything off the top of my head, but it was like around, I think 1840, 1850, somewhere in there. So it's close to it. But it's still in operation. You can still go visit that museum and everything there in Franklin. It's neat to be able to see a home that's made like an octagon. It really is.
Oh yeah, and I mean it. From what I know about it, it was a private residence, and then it turned into a Civil War hospital of sorts.
Yes, ma'am.
So,
and supposedly it's haunted from the Civil War soldiers, is what I've always heard. I'm not much on haunted houses, so I'm not going to go in at dark and find out. I'll just take everybody's word for it. It is haunted, but supposedly it's a haunted house.
It's been on a couple of those ghost shows, like where the people go in and have their like night vision cameras and all that kind of stuff. But I don't know if I've ever seen one, but I know it's been on there. So we need to do that after we finish the webcast. And finally, we've got a picture of a big crowd of people. And this is something that they do in Franklin. They have concerts, I believe, right there on the square. So outdoor summer concerts, and people can lay a blanket down. Very family friendly. So Franklin and Simpson County as a whole, it's a very unique small town, and location is ideal. It's in between Bowling Green and Nashville. So lots of good stuff comes out of Franklin, including drugs. So that's what we're going to be running through, what kinds of opportunities someone might have as far as a job in Franklin or Simpson County. And James, you've got an event coming up fairly soon, the 19th. So in just about 2 weeks, what all can you tell us about that?
Well, one of the things that we're doing there for the employers in Simpson County is we're hosting a job fair along with the industrial authority there in Simpson County. We're going to be hosting this at the South Central Community Technical College. I was getting that in our workforce board mixed up there. Sorry about that. But we're going to be hosting it at Sky CTC there in Franklin campus, and that's going to be at the 175 Davis Drive, as you've got listed there for anybody who wants to know where it's going to be located at. We have between 9 and 10 employers already signed up for this. And this is going to be held from 9 o'clock that morning to 2 o'clock that afternoon. And we're going to be hiring on the spot. If you have been unemployed for the last, and need a job for the last year, we're going to have those available. There's plenty of jobs that are going to be available. We will be hiring on the spot. Bring resumes. Be ready. Be prepared to get that career that you want, not just a job, because this is an opportunity for individuals that can do better themselves than what they have had in the past as far as jobs. We want to see people to be able to move up in companies, and this right now is a huge opportunity, especially in Simpson County, to do that. We've got several new companies in Simpson County that have come to that area, and they need employees. They need employees to be successful. Franklin needs those employers to be successful for their community as well. So we want to do our part and kind of help them to be able to put people to work there by hosting this job fair and helping individuals get back to work.
And I think this is a unique opportunity, because let's say I'm looking for work. If I were to try to interview with 7 or 8 places, you're talking a whole lot of time commitment. With something like this, you could technically interview with multiple companies in a very short time span.
Absolutely.
So I know you've got, you're recommending that they bring their resume. Should they bring multiple copies?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. You want to bring multiple copies, and not just for the employers, because myself and I'll have a couple of career advisors there as well, so that we can have a copy of those as well. Because if you don't get a job that day or don't find something that you like that day, we're all the time working with employers that could possibly have something that would fit your need. college graduates, come to these things, bring your resumes. If you just graduated high school, you're ready to go to work, come to this thing and bring your resume. If you don't have one, we have opportunities for you to be able to go on and get a free one. We have, the Kentucky Career Edge.
Mm-hmm.
And if, as you mentioned here in our flyer, if you want to get a free one, it's a professional resume building program that is free to every resident in the state of Kentucky. And all you got to do is log on there and build your resume and bring it to us. And we do help with resume building as well. So if you bring it to us and then we see some things that needs to be tweaked or something, we help you with that. We give you those ideas, no charge whatsoever to you. We're here to help you get back to work. We're here to help those employers get employees to work.
And I think the neat thing, if someone's watching this and they haven't tried Kentucky Career Edge, the thing that I like about the resume component is it's almost like one of those, like when you're setting up your computer or whatever, and it's like, have the wizard do it. I like it because it's like that, because
Absolutely.
It makes me think in a different way. And I think the end product is stronger as a result, because you're not so focused on, a blank sheet of paper and starting from scratch.
Oh, I agree 100%. I mean, there are a lot of other resume things out there, but there's none that compare to what we have. I have sent several individuals, especially young adults, teenagers, through these programs, as well as our career advisors in the schools, and our whole region has done this through Kentucky Career Edge. But I have had employers tell me, especially with the teenagers and the youth, I've had employers tell me that they can tell a huge difference between the individuals that they interview that have gone through Kentucky Career Edge versus those that have not. Even those that are in 16 to the 18-year-olds that are still in high school, they have been taking resumes to job sites to do interviews. That's not common. Most of the time, your teenagers are just take an application, and half the time you can't read their writing. But when we put individuals through this Kentucky Career Edge to help them to build their resumes and help them to get the things they need to be successful in a job interview, as well as job interview preparation, videoing them and things of that nature, doing job interviews, those have made huge strides in people getting jobs. Like I said, employers are telling me that they can tell a huge difference. Had one tell me, I had two young ladies that we went through there. He had never seen a teenager, and he runs a fun center. It's a huge business, but you wouldn't think going to a fun center you need a resume. Probably didn't have to have it, but it made them look like that they were professionals. It made him know that they had the soft skills that he could count on them to be there every day. Didn't have to worry about them being sick, calling in sick, taking off for their friends because they want to go to the lake or something. Those individuals have got the soft skills because they took that extra time to do the things properly to get that job. They really wanted those jobs. And that makes a huge difference in an employer looking at an employee.
Oh, absolutely. And I know sometimes when people hear that something is free, they think, oh, that's no good. But this has been paid for. It's not like, oh, this is free for everyone. This is something that the state has adopted, and they're providing it for free for Kentucky residents. And I've heard multiple times that there are folks from other states trying to sneak in and use this service. But you got to be in Kentucky to get it for free. So it's definitely something that it can help people in a variety of ways. Resumes being one of them, and a big part of it.
Yes, there's 17 different modules on there. Like I mentioned, the interviewing thing, there's an interview module on there that you actually are sitting in there and they're videoing you, and you can see the playback on it as to what you did during that interview. Those are huge things because everybody gets nervous going in and talk in front of somebody. So that helps you to overcome some of that nervousness, and you can see how your actions are or reactions to some of those questions, and you can overcome some of the things or make some of those things better than what they originally were. So it helps you to just be prepared to go for an interview. It really does.
Oh yeah, and watching yourself on tape, man, that is a humbling experience. I remember, and this was years ago, but there was a family reunion, and somebody there had a video camera, and this is like when video cameras, were as big as a TV. They were giant.
Still carried them on their shoulders.
Right.
But I remember those. Did the VHS tapes. Pop them in there and video it.
And so they videoed the family reunion walking around, and my dad got a copy, and we put it in, and we were watching it. And somebody, the person was sort of panning the room, and they got the back of my dad's head, and he was balding, and he did not realize it, and was like, "Oh my gosh, is that really what my head looks like? Why haven't you all told me that I'm losing my hair?" And I mean, he went on and on and on, which I would think you could feel it, like when you're shampooing.
I can. Now mine's all over, not just the back, so I'm all over, so I can feel mine.
Right. So that was a rude awakening for my dad, watching that. But it's much better to record yourself and watch it, get that feedback so you can fix it before you're interviewing with somebody.
That's right.
That's the big thing. So in addition to the job fair, there's another opportunity that I wanted to make sure that we mention, and it is with Smiley Monroe in Franklin, and they produce conveyor belts, and they are looking for production technicians, and they have benefits. They have lots of fringe that goes with the position, and these are all day shift as well.
Right.
So I think that it would definitely be a good opportunity for someone. If you go to our website, this job is listed on the featured jobs page. And so you just fill out a little bit of information if you're interested, and then we go from there. And specifics on the job, as far as if someone had questions on pay rate, I believe the starting rate is around 16. But when you figure in the additional benefits, it's equivalent to quite a bit more.
Right. Yeah, a lot of people don't take consideration about the health medical benefits and your holiday benefits, your vacation benefits, your personal time off benefits. You have to take into consideration a lot of those things, especially your medical part of it. An average family of 4 would have to pay about $1,100 a month with a $5,000 deductible if they don't have benefits through a company that they work for or something. So, I mean, that's a huge burden on an individual to have to pay out of pocket to get the insurance, and then plus pay out of pocket in order to utilize it up to a certain amount. So benefits are a huge thing anymore with these jobs. You might make $16 an hour with Smiley, but by the time you get all of your benefits into it, you could be up around $60,000 a year with all your benefits package and everything combined there. Because you really need to have health insurance somewhere. If they're going to help you provide it, and you only have to pay a small portion of it there, versus what you'd have to pay as an individual having to purchase on your own, you're saving quite a bit of money. In reality, you're making money off of that.
Absolutely. If excuse me, so if you're watching this and you would like the inside track on upcoming jobs, upcoming hiring events, the absolute best thing to do is to follow us on social media. We are on Instagram, we are on Facebook, we are on Twitter, we're also on LinkedIn, and we are at SCKYWDB. That is our handle. And you can also find us on the web at southcentralworkforce.com. And we try to provide links to these Inside Jobs webcasts, as well as other resources. So we really do try to help the job seeker and also the employer as much as possible. All right, James, you have any parting words of wisdom?
The thing that I want everybody to understand is this. We have a multitude of jobs right now. We need to fill those jobs. We need to make sure that those jobs are filled and we get to keep our communities thriving with these jobs, and these employers get to stay in our communities and thrive. If you want a job and you want to build your career and help your family and your community, you need to go now and get those jobs, because at some point in time, things are going to change. The supply and demand is going to swap. The demand's not necessarily going to be there for jobs as they are right now in the near future. So right now is when you need to get out there and get that career. And the thing about it is, people need to realize, if you go out there and you get that job, you may start out today at $16 an hour at someplace like Smiley Monroe. And if you're getting in on the entry level ground, you could easily move up within 6 months, 9 months, depending on how your work ethic and everything is. And you think about that and you get to where you're getting moved up and moved up. So with those, you're going to get increases in your pay and things. So there's lots of opportunities for individuals right now to go to work, for one, and secondly, to be able to go to work and work themselves up into nice positions in companies, because there is a large amount of openings. I know back at the first of the year, we had around 6,100 open jobs in our Teague County region. Mm-hmm. We need to fill those jobs. We need you all in this communities to fill those jobs, because we want to keep our employers in this community, and we want you all to be able to stay in this community and work.
Absolutely. Very well said. I have no doubt. That was perfection.
Well, thank you. I get one every once in a while.
That's right. That's right. You're very welcome.
I tell everybody I'm more than a pretty face every once in a while.
I'm laughing with you, not at you.
Right. That's what everybody says.
That's right. Well, thank you very much for joining us. Join us next time for another edition of Inside Jobs.
Have a great afternoon, everyone.
Thank you.